showtime.
Fire and water, earth and the sky, mystery surround us, legends never die. We're here for the moment, lost in time. I can hear them call, they're locked within the crystal ball.
I'm overdue before getting this one because one of my Pokemon just desperately needs it, and yeah. Whatever, I'm getting a little off topic. Or rather, I'm late with this. So anyway, hey everybody, it's the Deer100 and welcome back to more of Pokemon Sword. Last time. Oh, right. We went through a lot of interesting trials from out here at Bolulia. We took on Opal, and we witnessed a certain Wooloo head becoming a new gym leader in probably one of the funniest ways possible. And one of our members of the team fully evolved. This time, we're going to be making our way to Route 7. Before we go any further, I actually would like to talk about this new Pokemon that we have. Well, that's fully evolved in the form of, well, Hydrogen. Galarian Wheezing, the evolution of coughing. And can I just say, wow, this thing worked in strange ways, and yeah. Well, I guess there's nothing really too many bad things that I can say about this, except for the fact that I'm not quite sure how to feel about the top hats, though. But anyway, a Poison Fairy type actually works out pretty well. That stench ability becomes Misty Surge, and that is phenomenal for a hidden ability. In fact, all three of its abilities are great. The one person we would recommend Levitate probably the most, mainly due to the fact that I like to have only 2 weaknesses in with this, rather than having just 3. And yes, it doesn't have a weakness to Steel in this form, so yeah. But what's really interesting is the fact that it has a signature move that it can be taught through the Moon Reminder, and it has the move known as Strange Stream. This is a 90 power and 95 accuracy special fairy type move that has a 20% chance of confusing the opponent. Can you say very nice? Well, I should hope so, because it's strange. It works. Its stats are similar to its Cantonian counterpart, so you're not really missing much on that. But other than that, if you want one, I'd recommend Levitate. Neutralizing gas, its signature ability, is okay, but like I said, I prefer to have 2 weaknesses rather than just 1. So, excuse me, 2 weaknesses rather than just 3. So, all in all, not bad, but kind of underappreciated. Off to the side, I picked up a pair of wise glasses. Let's see. If I remember correctly, these glasses? Oh, there you are. Boost the power of special type moves. I'm gonna think about this one for a little bit because it would work great with Hydrogen because it has some good special offensive moves. But then again, Ennard would probably work well with this as well. So I'm gonna think about this for a little bit. First that forest, then that mad quiz. I've been lost in every sense of the word. But it looks like I finally caught up to you again. Come with me to Route 7. I could use a bit of competition to motivate me. Hey, why not? Okay, so before we kind of go any further, I'm late because Oh my god, the BIOS are gonna be coming. I'm not gonna enjoy this whatsoever. Just. Ugh. And you wanna know what makes things worse? The routes that are coming up are actually a whole lot smaller than you would give them credit for. So when you think you know what's coming, Mike, let me try it out for my latest in a battle against you. Yep. And I just realized something. Hang on just a second. There we go. Okay, so he has Trevenant, level 34, Ghost Grass type, natural cure for the ability. Horn Leech, Shadow Claw, and Confuse Ray. Someone must have had access to multiplayer, and he has 5 Pokemon on his team. There we go. Here we go. Sludge Bomb away. All right. Got Shadow Claw. And ha ha ha! That Rocky helmet goes well with my top hats. The both of them. Alright. What's next? Well, this is gonna be fun. Next up, it's gonna be Snorlax, level 35, pure normal type, thick bat for the ability. The Body Slam, Stockpile, and Heavy Slam. I think I might have made a bad call on this one, so... You know what? If I'm gonna be going down, then I might as well go down fighter, because Thick Bat actually cuts the power of my Ice type moves in half, along with Fire type moves, so... Let's see. Yep! You brought this on yourself, buddy. Ennard, get out there! Uh-oh. Booyah! Actually, I probably could have just stuck with... Actually, you know what? I actually made a pretty good call of switching out, because if I did that, Heavy Slam would have done a lot more damage than I would think. And yeah! Burn! Because the best part is, getting burned means I cut your attack stat in half. So, okay. And now we just wait until this thing goes down really slowly. This guy's actually pretty smart, because that Stockpile is gonna raise his defense and special defense, making it more of a nice double wall, especially a special wall. You know what? Maybe I should just stick with same type attack bonus. Oh boy. Ugh. Oh, come on! Alright. So pretty much what I'm doing at this point is just withering this thing down, and wow, I'm actually faster than Snorlax with my attack, with my speed stat cut in half. Well, I guess then again, I'm like 4 levels higher than it, so... Actually, I'm 3 levels? Yeah, 3 levels higher. Oh well, I'm gonna try to bring it down this turn. Nope, never mind. But yeah, he's actually doing pretty good so far. I will admit, he's doing pretty good. In fact, he's smart with the Snorlax. Oh, come on! Okay, can I actually attack? Never mind. Well, at least it's going down this turn either way. Finally! Alright. Next up, it's gonna be his fully evolved Sobble of Inteleon. At level 37, pure water type, Torrent for the ability. Snipe Shot, Sucker Punch, Tearful Look, and Whirlpool. Let's see here. Rillaboom would be his evolution of Grookey, which will be at level 37, pure grass type, Overgrowth for the ability. Let's see. Drum Beating, Knockoff, Slam, and Brutal Swing. I hope I said that correctly. Cinderace will be level 37, pure fire type, Bleeds for the ability, with Pyro Ball, Headbutt, Acrobatics, and Agility. Uh-oh. 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 I'm saying anything like that because I just activated a special ability, but doesn't matter! Bye-bye! Boom! You just got drum beaten. Yeah. Wow, I sounded racist on that one. Okay, enough of me being racist, okay? That's just not nice. Let's just move on to his last Pokemon. He has two more latches. Heatmore, level 34, pure fire type, Blast Fire for the ability with Fire Lash, Bug Bite, and Slash and Lick. Honestly, this is not a bad Heatmore. The only problem is, it's kind of outclassed. Like, it even has almost similar identical stats to Simisear, if I remember correctly. So, who cares? And now, for a Pokemon that we have yet to see. Bolton, level 35, pure electric type, Strong Jaws for the ability with Spark, Crunch, Roar, and Nuzzle. Yep. It's the evolution. Uh-oh. How'd you miss? What? Well, I guess then again it has Strong Jaws for the ability, which I can understand, but... Dude! Not cool! But you know what? I'm gonna get it all back to you! In the form of a bomb! Oh, come on! Oh, come on! Well, I guess that if you're so insistent of having a fossil Frankenstein kick your ass, sure. Yeah, that was weird. This is rubbish! My team can't perform if I can't get my own head straight as to that trainer. It's called Add More Moves. Before we even started out on this journey, I remember watching Leo on the telly. He was like a bright star, so strong I could hardly bear to look right at him. But now, I can tell just how strong he really is, and what he's got that I haven't. But I'm getting stronger too. Maybe not as fast as you, but I'm fine. Whatever. Thanks for letting me battle with you again. Here, I'll help your team for you too. Thank you. I think I know what it is I really want. I want to battle late. I want to take on my bro. But not just that, I want to beat him. I want to be the one who beats the unbeatable champion. And I'm going to. My mind's made up. You and me are going to have another battle once I get my gym badge on Shittisteer. Sir Chester. Okay. This is something that I'm not exactly looking forward to. But luckily, this isn't so bad. We have some new Pokemon to talk about here on Route 7. And luckily for me, a majority of them are actually their evolution. So, hold me. Anyway, starting things off is Lightbird. Not much really needs to be said about Lightbird because everything that I kind of said about Purloin from earlier kind of applies from here. I guess the only real good thing that I can say is that the best dark type that it can learn would be Pursuit, and it can learn, what am I thinking of? Foul Play, which is not a bad move to say the least. The only real big gripe that I have with it is that, while I do like this thing to death, it unfortunately is outclassed. So, if you want to try one, go right ahead. But I'd probably just go for either Limber or Prankster for the ability. Burner's not bad, but like I said, you're probably better off with those other abilities as well. Let's talk about a Pokemon that is actually not outclassed and actually works great. Galvantula, the evolution of Joltik. And wow, is this thing good, and I love it. A bug electric type that actually has some good abilities and moves that complement it so goddamn well. Compound Ice and Swarm are the best ones to go for. Simple as that. In fact, what's really nice is that even though that I find this Pokemon strangely cute, Electro Web and Thunderbolt are the best moves to go for with Bug Bite. And some of the moves that have low accuracy with Compound Eyes are phenomenal, and I love it. The big gripe that I have with it is that as much as I like Pokemon that work in such good ways, you do have a couple of things to be careful with, especially since you gotta look out for basically other Pokemon that have such a harmful moves at its arsenal. It's not bad, just be careful how you use it. Next up is Inkay. Do you even remember if this Pokemon even exists half the time? I know, says the guy here that's using a fossilized Pokemon that's a Frankenstein. A dark psychic type that works weird. To evolve it, you kind of need to have your system to be upside down, but you really don't need to, because I've had plenty of times when I use it Inkay in the past, and it evolved just fine. I guess if you really want one, Contrary is probably one of the weirdest abilities to go for, but what is it doing all the way out here? I'm sorry, but I actually have a hard time talking about some good things to say about Inkay, but it has a good variety of moves to go for, but beware of bugs. Up next is the everything that I said about a pre-evolution applies. Because this is a Pokemon that's basically like the Bidove line where its stats are flipped, and it knows only one good special offensive move through leveling up. And it's Snarl. Snarl. Well, okay, that's... And maybe he's been doing that for leveling up, but there is a move that it can learn through TM, and it is a bit of a hassle to find, but it can also learn the move Dark Pulse. So get rid of that Snarl, go for the Dark Pulse, simple as that. What Pokemon is actually not like its pre-evolution that doesn't apply is Berserk, the evolution of Galar and Meowth. My thoughts for this Pokemon have actually swayed a little bit over the years, and I'm gonna be honest, I actually kind of like Berserk. Meowth. A pure Steel-type Pokemon that actually has 3 great abilities for you to go for, and all 3 of them are great for both single player and I guess maybe 1 for double battles, really. But when some of its best moves are physical moves and Tough Claws and it works on it so well, who cares? That thing is awesome. Steely Spirit is its signature ability. It powers up an ally's steel type moves. So basically it's like the... I actually can't really think of the other ability that I'm thinking of, but honestly, if you're packing steel type Pokemon for your team, give this one a try with that ability. Berserker, I have to say, kind of swayed me a little bit, and it's actually pretty good. Many people have complained about the fact that it's not a Persian, but I think it kind of made up for it for having such odd key appearances and types of moves. I don't know. Next up, it is more Pico. Hey, Marnie's Pokemon finally decides to make its appearance. This is an electric dark type Pokemon that is kind of weird. It can work in one of a few ways, and it's kind of up to you on how you want to do it. There is a catch. And that is also based around both its ability and its signature move. Well, I guess they're both signatures, so let's kind of talk about each of them one by one. Hunger Switch is its signature ability. It basically changes its appearance, and it can go into either its full belly mode or hangry mode if it ever gets a hit with each turn. And that signature move, which unfortunately I won't learn until I think level 50 or 55, it works weird. So kind of explaining a little bit more about how it works. It's a 110 power, 100 accuracy, physical electric type move that will raise its speed stats by 1 level, and it will change it in type depending on what appearance it is. If it's in its full belly mode, it'll be an electric type, and it'll be hangry mode, it'll be dark type. Honestly, that's not bad. So no matter however you use it, you'll guarantee the same type of attack bonus because A, it's an electric type, and B, it's a dark type. That being said, here comes a bit of a U-turn. It's a glass cannon, and you gotta treat this thing like glass. This is a way that, and I've kind of saved this time for this point, if it's a swing and a miss, it's very likely gonna go down on the next hit. And don't let that fight set up with Marnie fool you. This thing can be good, but it takes a while for it to reach its true potential. Moving on into random encounters. Oh, you made fun of this Pokemon in the past. But Seismitoad isn't here to give other water ground types a taste of their own medicine! Seismitoad is awesome! A Pokemon that actually can work in a few different ways. I know I say that a lot because Mud Shot leveling up, Mud Bomb leveling up, Earthquake through TM. And it does know some pretty good water type moves as well. And I guess the best water type move that I would definitely recommend the most would probably have to be Muddy Water. What's curious is that one of its abilities is Poison Touch. This is probably one of the very few non-poison type Pokemon that can actually learn while you have this particular ability. If you really want one, I definitely recommend Swift Swim or Poison Touch for single player, Water Absorb for double battles. It definitely lives up to the bulk like many water types and like other ground types. And while it may not look it, it's actually kind of on the slower side than some other water and ground types. But even if you don't plan on using it, it's actually great as a support Pokemon that can tank hits and can dish them right back. Just be careful on how you use it though. Next up is Carablast. I find this Pokemon to be kind of good, but it's only good if you have access to multiplayer. You will need to trade it with someone with another Pokemon which we'll be talking about in a little bit called Shelmet, and it'll evolve into pretty much the opposite of what you would think of it at first glance. Carablast, on its own, it's okay, but at least it's something that it has no guard for the ability, which is nice. But I personally think that Swarm is probably going to be the better ability to go for. Shensuke's no slouch either. But once it evolves into Excavalier upon that trade, it becomes a really nice defensive Bug Steel type. In fact, I gotta compare this one to that of Scizor. Only better. Because like I said, the only real negative is that perma-trade that you have to go for. It's a very nice defensive wall with Accessor leveling up, Iron Head leveling up, Iron Defense leveling up. Do I need to say anything else? Oh, I guess if we can also go for the fact that, hey, it's good for taking hits and actually gain some resistances along the way. Moving on into its counterparts is Shelmet. And before you guys ask, no, this thing is not a part steel type. It's a pure bug type. But it evolves into a pure bug type that, despite its frailty, it becomes one of the fastest, if not the fastest bug type in the game. But moving on into Shelmet, really, it's no slouch. It's meant to be a defensive wall, but you might want to trade it away right away if you want to use it. As I said multiple times, you are going to need to have access to multiplayer to do this. If you can get around all that, Shelmet involvement into Excelgor is awesome. Next up is Meowstic, the evolution of Esper. And everything that I said from before does not fully apply with that, because its forms are actually more than just cosmetic. Like I said from before, this thing will have 3 regular abilities and 1 hidden ability. The males are typically who will come with either Key Knife for the ability, well, yeah, it would have Prankster for its hidden ability as a male, whereas for competitive, it would be for the females. So I actually kind of had that one mixed up. So 2 regular abilities and 2 different hidden abilities. Yeah, I kind of had that one backwards, but honestly, it's not bad. And I guess if you really want this thing to be okay for how it is, you're probably better off with his either Keener or Infiltrator, really. And finally, and oh boy, have I been waiting to talk about this Pokemon, because holy crap, come here, Corviknight! Corviknight is awesome! This is the final evolution of Rookidee, and oh boy. This thing gained a signature hidden ability of Mirror Armor. It bounces back and has stat lowering effect on the Pokemon that was responsible for sending it. This thing is probably the best ability that I've ever seen. If you really want one, it will take a while for you to find that certain item that I talked about from earlier. And then it's just going to be great nonetheless from there. It's a defensive wall. It knows a steel type move upon its evolution of Steel Wing. What else can I say about this that hasn't already been said already? Well, it definitely gained a weakness to fire. That's for sure. But other than that, it's awesome. I recommend it to pretty much anyone. If you have an extra slot on your team and you regret not going over Rookidee from earlier, now may be a good time to catch it. It will be hard to catch, but it'll be worth it. Okay. I'm gonna need a moment to breathe on this one, because what's coming up is gonna be the bane of my existence. This is gonna hurt, and my throats are probably gonna be going out from this, but yeah, Route 7 is one of the shortest routes in the game, and it leads directly to Route 8, and why? Well, might as well get the pain out of the way. we have almost 20 new Pokemon to talk about, and I will try to minimize the fillers. And I'll just try to give it a good summary as I can. Because luckily for us, a majority of these Pokemon are just its final evolutions, which will make things a little bit easier for us. So, let's get to it. Starting things off, in Shield, Lunatone. A special offensive wall, and has Levitate for the ability, and it's kind of mediocre. And Lunatone is okay for how it is, and I'm really wishing that this was a Pokemon that had such a good potential. And I guess if you want to pack Calm Mind with this thing with some good Rock type and Psychic type moves that matches special offensive stats, which good luck finding any, you're probably gonna be better off with something else either way. There's really not much that has to be said about Lunatone, except that it's meant to be a special offensive wall. But you're probably better off with something else anyway. Moving on to his counterpart in Sword, Solrock. It's pretty much the same thing, except its special stat and its offense stats are flipped. And actually has some better capabilities on this. This one's meant to be more on the offensive side rather than the special offensive side. And even though that they're kind of the same, except they're just flipped, you're better off with something else. Like I said, there's better good choices to go for. Moving on is going to be Boldor. This thing is okay. If you have access to multiplayer, you can evolve it almost right away if you want. I consider this to be a more improved version of Rhyhorn, or actually, excuse me, Geodude in my opinion. Except for the fact that it's not a part ground type, and the fact that it actually has some pretty good abilities, and that some of its other versions are okay with it on their own. But take your pick. Once it fully evolves, thanks to that trait evolution, Gigalith is a defensive beast. If you want one, go right ahead. But like I said, you will need to have access to multiplayer. And if you choose not to go for that, you're going to be seeing what's going to be on screen right now in terms of stat-wise. Moving on is Girder. This is not a bad Pokemon. And why is this thing not a part Steel type? Because it's holding an iron bell or barb, whatever that is. A steel panel, whatever. I don't know. Like I said with Boldor, you need to have access to multiplayer to reach its final evolution. And if you can do that, Conkeldurr, or Conkeldurr as I used to call it, I don't like it either. It becomes one of the best physical offensive Pokemon, and it can tank a lot of physical hits like a champ. It's actually kind of similar to that of the Machop line, only weirdly distributed. But you can safely say that Iron Fist is a great choice to go for, and Sheer Force, I'm okay with it. It just kind of works a little all over the place. I guess if you really want this thing to be good, Guts is going to be a little bit hard to use at first, but the only real big thing to watch out for is that Poison and Paralysis are probably going to be the best choices to go for Guts. And it's just kind of mediocre with anything else. Frozen is pretty much makes it useless. Up next is Golett. And one thing I want to say real quickly. Do not get one with Klutz! That's the only real big thing that I can say about it. Klutz makes it so that you can't use any held items, while Iron Fist and No Guard are going to be the best ones to go for, hands down. What's strange is that being a ground ghost type, and mostly meant to be a physical offensive Pokemon, everything else is kind of trash. I will say this. If you can get one with Iron Fist, it will know Shadow Punch. And with that ability, not much else really needs to be said about that. That thing can hit hard. Big, however, incoming. It has a lot of weaknesses. If you can get around all that, Golem is good. It is slow. It will eventually know Earthquake, but honestly, I think you're probably better off with a different ghost type than that. It kind of makes this one look pathetic, really. Moving on, in Sword, Rufflet. This thing is about as strong as a bit of, or I guess maybe in one case, Starly or something like that. And it won't evolve until level 52. Or 54, one of those two. But you get what I mean. Why does it take so long for Pokemon like these to reach their full potential? Just why? I ask, why? Just, ugh. I've never gotten over with this kind of crap. Well, I guess going over this Pokemon on its own. Typical normal flying type. The best one to go for is probably Sheer Force. Well, Keen Eye and Hustle are no slouches either. But I like my accuracy as it is, thank you. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to give Rufflet a bad review. I really didn't, but you will be able to see his evolution even before you reach the end game. So be thankful for that. Moving on into Shield, it's its counterpart of Volibye. A dark flying type that's meant to be a double wall. It's not bad. In fact, it's kind of more like that of Umbreon. Except its defense and special defense stats are more or less flipped. And as a flying subtype, it has better abilities. I guess if you really want one, Big Pex is probably going to be the best one to go for. Weak Armor's pretty good as well. But Overcoat's probably going to be the better one for double battles. The best part about it is that it doesn't take any damage from hail, sandstorm, or pretty much anything on that matter. It's meant to be a... Like I said, I would treat this more as a wall and as supporting Pokemon, and not much after that. Next up is probably one of the interesting Pokemon, Togedemaru. An electric steel type that's basically Pikachu, but as a porcupine? I don't know. Cut it straight to the point. Iron Barbs and Sturdy could be the best abilities to go for. Lightning Rod for double battles. It's meant to be a pretty nice physical sweeper, and it's meant to have some good amount of defense and special defense to boot. But what I don't get is, why does this thing have such low special offensive stats, even though that it can work in so many good ways like that? God, I gotta stop saying things like that because I'm repeating myself. But at this point, who cares? Togedemaru is awesome. And make sure you have one with Iron Barbs for the ability, because you'll be a sitting duck if you don't. Okay. We're almost through it. Because now we're on to random encounters. Hold me. Haunter, please don't hold me, because I like it in my sanity as it is, thank you. Haunter is awesome. It goes to a poison type in that, unfortunately, it takes multiplayer trading to evolve it. I tried to make it in a way that make it sound pretty good for when I say it, but I am about as other worlds on that, and never mind. So Haunter, it takes a trade evolution to fully evolve, like I said, but what's really good is that even if you choose not to go for this one, you could just find this evolution out in the wild areas, and unfortunately, it'll take a while for you to be able to catch it, because it's a very strong Pokemon at this point in the game. So, even if you don't want it, don't worry. There's an opportunity for you to catch one later. But I definitely like for the fact that it has levitate for the ability, but I like Gengar actually resents that ability. What? Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, we've seen it use levitate in the anime, so what changed? Pokemon logic. Let's move on here to another Pokemon that actually is good, even if you don't fully evolve it, in which you will need a held item to do so. Rhydon! It's not just a rock ground type, it's a ground rock type! It sure has Rocket for the ability. Trust me, because if this evolves into Rhyperior through trade while holding the Protector, it will come with solid rock. This will kind of moves in that are the type advantage over it to I think like a quarter or a half. And all I can really say is boom. But anyway, back to Rhydon. It will take a while for you to reach its full potential, and if you've chosen to trade it with that Protector, you have one of the best offensive walls in the game. I will warn you though, and as much as it pains me to admit it, it's slow as heck. And it has a lot of common weaknesses, with two quad weaknesses are water and grass. I think you might be seeing where I'm going with this. And like I said with Haunter, even if you don't plan on evolving it here and now, there is an opportunity for you to catch it in the wild areas. But not right now, though. It will take a while for you to get that, and when the time comes, you'll know for sure. Can Dusclops break the trend and make it so that it'll be great even on its own, and it'll take a while for you to reach its true potential in the process? No. It will. It's actually pretty much the exact same way as from that. And as much as it pains me to say this, Dusclops, why did you get rid of Levitate? It would have worked so much better on that matter. Just why? Why, I ask, why? I really don't like giving these Pokemon bad reviews, but Dusclops is meant to be a dual wall, and as much as it pains me to say it, and I gotta talk about it, it's a trade evolution, and even its evolution of Dusknoir is a little bit on the far-fetched side. It's not bad, but it does take a while to reach its true potential, like I said. You'll be able to find Dusknoir out in the wild areas, but you won't be able to catch it for a while, like I said from before, so whatever. Just go for Frisk. Pressure is basically what I like to call a throwaway ability, and yeah, there's some good ghost types out there. In fact, I actually would probably recommend this one the least in my opinion because of it. Okay, finally, a Pokemon that can actually work in multiple ways, and I actually mean it on this one. Bronzong! And can I just say, thank God we have a Pokemon that actually is good for something. Bronzong is awesome! With either Heat-Proof or Levitate for the ability, it will always come with either two weaknesses, and it's up to you for which one of the weaknesses that you want to go for. If you want my personal opinion, I would probably go for Levitate for the ability, and let it learn the move Rain Dance, making it so that you will guarantee to have only two weaknesses. And Dark is really going to be the only ability, the move that you're probably worrying about the most. Just don't go for Heavy Metal. Trust me. It's bad. Like, really bad. All it really just does is just double your Pokemon's weight. It's a bit of a cool concept, is that this thing is based off of the Gonteku, which is talked about greatly in Japanese lore. It is said that when it is buried out in certain locations, it's meant to harvest. It is used for good praise for good harvests. And the fact that it can learn Rain Dance, that's pretty cool. Something that I actually think is kind of underappreciated. But like I said, go with Levitate, have it Rain Dance, and then the only real weakness you gotta worry about is Dark. Up next is Hippowdon, the evolution of Hippopotas. Everything that I said from before applies here. The only real big gripe is the fact that all three of its abilities appears to have something to do with sandstorms. In fact, Sandstream summons it while Sandforce powers up in the rock, ground, and steel types while in a sandstorm. I think you might be seeing where I'm going with this. This is perfect for double battles, but it's not bad for single player either. In fact, if you choose to catch one here and now, you will have access to the Elemental Fangs. And that could be pretty good. But other than that, it's slow like most ground types. But at least it can hit hard and even tank hard, I guess. Don't get that out of context, please. Wow, Drapion hasn't done so well since Gen 4, and I ain't afraid to admit it. Going from a Poison Bug type into a Poison Dark type is awesome. Having only one weakness of ground. Actually, I'm hoping I'm correct on that one. Because with Fairy implemented on this one, I actually don't think I even corrected myself enough on that in the past, so... You know what? Let's just leave it at that, and then we'll call it a day from that. Okay? Okay. Everybody shut up. So, back to Drapion. If you want one, you got it. This thing is awesome. It is one of my personal favorite Pokemon, and my sweet Maba Jabba. The Elemental Fangs are right there if you want them. And I guess Sniper's okay for probably being the better ability to go for. But I prefer to probably go on the more defensive approach with battle armor. Not much really needs to be said about this. It knows some really good moves almost right out of the box. And if there's some moves that you wanted on this Pokemon from before, there's a Pokemon Centers. There is in the move reminder. There you go. Sandaconda is up next. Everything that I said about it in pre-evolution applies here. That signature ability of Sand Spit is pretty nice. But, and here comes the only real good thing that I can say about it is that it knows Sand Tomb to leveling up, and I really wish that it wouldn't be held back by any other obstacles along the way. And trust me, I wanted this thing to be really good, but it's meant to be a defensive wall, not much else after that. If you want one, go right ahead. I actually like this Pokemon more than most. Just, you might want to think of how to use it even before taking it into casual matches, because all three of its abilities require Sandstorm, and that signature ability will pretty much summon it no matter what. Phalanx. Can I just ask, what the hell is even this thing? It's probably one of the strangest fighting type Pokemon that I guess they're probably meant to be representing that of soldier bugs or something. I never really understood its concept though. I guess if you really want one, They can only be found through random encounters and wanderers. Trust me, it actually will make a lot more sense once you start getting to know this thing. But here comes on the U-turn. Both of his abilities are great. That Defiant ability is phenomenal. And despite what you would think, it's actually quicker than you think it is. And I like this thing. The only real big gripe is that I kind of see this to be a little bit more on the glass cannon side, though. And raising it, it's going to be a little bit odd. But don't let that stop you. It definitely hasn't stopped me in the past. Except for maybe one. But you get what I mean. And finally, through wandering, we have Crustle. A bug rock type, and is one of the best defensive walls in the game. Rock Wrecker through leveling up. Bug Bite leveling up. And how could we forget about Shell Smash? Lowering your defense and special defense to boost your attack, special attack, and speed. While it would make this thing a little bit more squishy in the process, you definitely have some good abilities, and that should kind of help complement that in a way. The only real big thing to be careful with is that if you keep lowering your defense or special defense, especially your special defense, it's not going to end well in the past. Or, well, at all really. I can't really talk right now because I'm losing my mind. And pretty soon my voice is gonna pretty much go after this, so... Crustle is awesome! I believe it should be locked at level 40 from when we find it, but I haven't ran into one quite yet, so... Don't worry, we will soon enough. But, if you're looking for a wall, Crustle's your guy. Just make sure that you have it with Shell Smash. And I guess weak armor could be good as well, but you're probably gonna be better off with sturdy anyway. Oh, my throat hurts. And that's gonna be enough BIOS for this episode. Because... And I've earned this rant. We are done! And now for the moment of truth. Is Crossover what I think it is? Level 40? Yes, it is. So I was correct. Yay! Alright. Alright. Oh, right, and Rock Slide, too. Okay, I'm better now. Alright. And what were you hiding over here? TM43 Break! Nice. Oh, good. We got colleagues Allison and Jordan. Oh, shite. Well, this is bad. Especially since the X-Controller would have Sand Rush. Okay. I'm gonna have to think about this. Alright. Okay, that's gonna help. Okay, that actually worked out better than I anticipated. Goody. Go for the heat wave. And you're gonna learn crunch. Okay. I actually feel a little better now. Never mind. I actually feel terrible. Okay. Pretty much need to go for moves like this. Okay. Yeah, these guys will make a great duo in double battles. Berserker. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Do that. I don't do that. Ha-ha! Uh-oh. Well, this bites. Well, I guess there's only one thing left for me to do. I'll do that. Then, go for Berserker. Alright. Do that. Becomes level 44, which is really, really good. Sweet. Shouldn't you use the swagger on me now, boy? Alright, there's something over here. Terrain Extender! It extends the duration of terrain caused by the holder's move or ability. So it goes from 5 turns to 8 turns. Alright. And you know what? Yes. Let's see here. Well, I know what it's time for. Let's start cooking. Alright. Let's see. What should I go for this time? And we'll go for the packaged curry again. This time, I'm just gonna try to be a little bit more discreet. Well, more like diverse with some of these berries. You know what? Let's do that. Alright, guys. Even though this is gonna be in the scorching desert, this curry's going to be rather special. Alright. Just gonna do it at a steady pace. And here we go! Curry's done! Yeah! That was fun. Alright. Okay. But you know what? Nope, nope. We're not doing that today. We're done. Because I can finally breathe. Luckily for us, the BIOS that are going to be coming up now, and then coming up next, are going to be merciful with me. Because I'm done. Like, I'm done. We'll talk about those Pokemon another time. So, with that, we're going to end things off right here. So next time, we'll head back into Steam Drift Way, and then we'll screw some sheep over or something. I don't know. See you guys then. I can finally breathe.